Hello everyone, welcome back to Space Quest 2, Valhalla's Revenge, the infamous adventures remake. So, here's what I've done. Hold on, let me turn this music down. So, I got some comments that the audio from the game is pretty quiet. I usually have the opposite problem. In most cases, when you're recording directly from your computer's audio, if you're doing like a Let's Play like this, and there are basically two audio sources. One audio source is the game itself, like the actual computer audio, and the other source is your microphone. In most cases, the microphone is much, much quieter than the game, and I usually have to quiet the game way down. I usually have to reduce the game's audio by a factor of 3 or 4, make it like 25% as loud as it naturally is, or even less than that. To balance it out with my voice, because the microphone input is usually much quieter than the game audio. This game is an exception. This game is exceptionally quiet. The audio in this game has just been mixed to be very, very quiet, and in particular the speech. I mean, I have the speech here cranked all the way up, and it was still very quiet in the last couple of videos. So what I've done is, in OBS, in the recording software that I use, I've cranked up the desktop audio to 14 decibels. That means it's 5 times louder than it should normally be. It's actually amplifying the game audio by a factor of 5. And you'll notice the music became, the music is pretty loud. The game's audio is not well mixed, so the music is too loud, is much too loud compared to the speech. You need to crank the speech way up and the music almost down to nothing. And even then the music is still fairly apparent and the speech is still pretty quiet. So I'm hoping that this balances things out. I'm hoping that this makes the audio a little bit better. Apologies for the last couple of videos being quiet. Let me know if it still doesn't sound very good, but I'm hoping this makes things sound a little better. So, back to the game. So, I found out that indeed there is an alternate solution to this puzzle. So in the original Space Quest 2, you had to walk through the vines like this, you had to walk through these roots, and then when you walk through this kind of archway here, Roger automatically ducks underneath it. As you've seen, that is not the case in this remake. In this remake, Roger gets killed. If he tries to walk through this thing, it squeezes him to death, like a boa constrictor or anaconda or whatever. So no, you can't walk through the maze. In fact, it's a waste of time to try to do so. So what's the solution? Well, the solution lies in something which we saw a little while ago and which I didn't pay much attention to at the time. I just kind of thought it was... I guess I was silly to not pay much attention to it. I should pay attention to things that are clearly highlighted by the game because they might be important. So actually on this screen, hold on, let me save here. Back at the hovercraft. So, can't really see it. In fact, I'm not even sure where it is. Is it
the
this
grass
here?
Doesn't bear any recent footprints. The grass doesn't...
Huh.
The grass...
I actually can't even see where it is. It is pretty well hidden, but somewhere around here... There we go. There it is. There you go.
You fall to the bottom of a concealed pit. You might have survived the fall had you not come into contact with the several 30-centimeter long spikes planted vertically along the bottom of the pit.
Look before you leap. The last thing that goes through your mind besides the spikes is that maybe you should have surveyed the area first. Somebody did mention when I was playing the original Space Quest 2, the remake tends to get a little bit bloody. So, yeah, a little bit of a warning to those who are averse to, stuff like this. It is pretty dark. I mean, I think the Space Quest games were always pretty dark. They always had a very dark sense of humor, and they didn't shy away from rather, semi-graphic portrayals of violence. Like, not to the level of really serious, like, splatter horror, but graphic enough that, they weren't kids' games. If this kind of thing turns you off, then I think this remake does go a little bit more in that direction than the original game. But, yeah, so just so that you're aware. I'm aware that it's a little bit distasteful. It's not really my kind of thing myself, but, I will indulge artists' desire to have a little bit of gore in their art if they so choose. So yeah, so that pit is there, and if you remember, when we came over here,
You startle a small creature. It could be a rabbit, but for its green fur and orange spots.
When I saw this last time, I just kind of thought, okay, well, that's nothing. Because there's nothing in this screen, except for the mushrooms. In the original Space Quest 2, there's literally nothing to do in this room, except get killed by the mushrooms. But you can't do anything useful with the mushrooms. So I just kind of ignored this room and thought, okay, there's nothing here. And the rabbit is just maybe just like some extra decoration or something that they put into the game. But no, it's actually important. If we go back now...
The startled bunny has fallen into the formerly concealed pit.
Yeah, that's part of the puzzle.
You reach into the deep dark hole and pull out the bunny. How the hell did you do that? That hole is obviously longer than your arm.
I guess realism isn't a concern here in the future.
That's true. This is not exactly meant to be a realistic simulation of reaching into a pit to pull out a bunny. I say that knowing that somebody will probably hear this and make pulling a bunny out of a pit on Labian Simulator 2023. Somebody's probably going to make a sim out of that. So we have...
It's the bloody carcass of the adorable bunny-like creature you found.
Yeah, again, the game will have some blood in it. Now it's pretty obvious what we do.
You shove the unstable ordnance up a readily available orifice of the dead creature.
Yeah.
You're a sick man, Roger.
Little tasteless, but again, it kind of fits in with the Space Quest humor, doesn't it?
It's a loaded bunny.
And now it's pretty obvious what we do. I think it's very obvious we just put this... So the root monster won't find the ordnance appetizing. It's not going to eat the ordnance if you just put the ordnance on one of these roots. But, of course, if you put some nice juicy prey, like this...
You place the rabbit carcass on the sticky vine plant. Nothing like a good explosion to brighten up your day. And you thought you'd have to navigate the maze-like vines.
I did. In fact, I did it twice. I went once the proper way up to here, and then I went once up to here and tried to stick the ordnance in the center of the plant there. But yeah, now we can just walk through that. So yeah, the game saves you the trouble of actually having to do the puzzle, except of course, if you've played the original game, you probably will do that puzzle, because this is the first time I think that this remake really breaks from the original. This is the first time, I mean, obviously the graphics and sound have been updated, but I think this is the first time that there's a marked difference in how you do a puzzle. So yeah, so a little bit of a shock there for people who are expecting a straight remake of Space Quest 2. This is not a straight remake. It's a mostly straight remake, but there'll be some things that are different.
You see large, plump berries on the bank of bushes in this field.
So how come you all are the only bushes with berries?
No response. The berries hanging on the bush look quite juicy and smell very pungent. Ugh, you spit it up immediately. Nothing living could stand to have something this awful in its mouth.
That's what she said. All right.
You snag some of the odoriferous red berries.
All right, so now we've got them in our inventory.
The strange red berries pack a very pungent aroma.
All right. I guess that's it. I think we're done here. And I guess that's it. Unless I'm missing something, I think, at least in the original game, that was all we needed to do around here. So I think we can go ahead and head up to this area here. And we see that little pink fella that we rescued again, and he was doing something. What was he doing? The game doesn't say. Whoa, what is that?
It's a cheetar centaur.
I don't think that's what it is.
Nah, only kidding. It looks dangerous, though.
Let's go ahead and save here. Swamp Thing. Well, alright, watch out. So I'm going to guess that if I just walk into the water here...
Yuck.
Hey, Roger walks pretty fast in this thick, swampy water. Oh, hey, what's going on
The
there?
swamp monster attacks you with its slimy tentacles. You struggle in vain to free yourself.
Do they not voice this? Okay. Odd. Unfortunately, your desire to breathe results in the intake of a large quantity of swamp water. If the lack of oxygen hadn't killed you, the taste of the putrid water would have.
You're dead. Better luck next time, Roger.
Thanks. Beware the tentacles. Not being able to breathe really sucks, doesn't it? It does, actually. Yeah, it's not a pleasant experience. I wonder if I can interact with that thing using the other icons. If it sticks its... I'm going to wait just for a second and see if it sticks an eye stalk out again, because... just curious how it reacts to the other icons. Is it not going to show up now?
There's nothing of interest in that direction.
Just want to see what happens if it... like if I try to smell it or taste it or something like that. What if I walk off the screen and come back? I'm using the arrow keys on the keyboard to walk off the edge of the screen sometimes, because sometimes it is tricky to get Roger to walk off the edge. He'll kind of need to get the cursor right up to the edge of the screen. It's really easy to do in a full screen game, but I'm playing this in a... There we go.
Displaying intelligence far greater than normal, you decide against touching the creature.
I give up. What is the scratch and regret secret item supposed to be?
That doesn't seem to match the text here.
It doesn't seem to have a mouth, Roger. Maybe it only speaks Terceron.
Yeah, see, if you have the game full screen, you can just jam the cursor right up against the edge of the screen. But in a windowed game, I'm playing... I mean, I know you can't really see it, but I'm playing this in a window, and so it looks like the cursor's at the edge of the screen, but actually I have my cursor outside of the window. So if I click now, I'm going to deactivate the game, because the cursor is not actually in the game window, so... just a bit annoying. Alright, let's try one more time with the smell and taste icons, and then I think we're done here.
I'm not letting you do that, Roger.
Wise decision, sir. Oh, it doesn't even say anything with the tongue.
Take a deep, hearty gulp of the highly questionable water.
No, I don't.
Alright, Roger is displaying uncommonly strong self-preservation instincts here. Alright, so we know what we need to do. We need to take the berries, use them on ourselves.
You rub the berries all over your body. Now you smell like a walking ammonia inhalant.
That sound effect, that was like... That's like when you're in the bathtub and you rub your fingers against the side of the bathtub. That's what that sounded like. I wonder if that's how they recorded that sound effect. Alright, let's get off the screen there, and...
The swamp monster attacks you with its slimy tentacles. Almost as suddenly, it spits you back out. You distinctly hear the sounds of aquatic gagging and retching. Evidently, you had a bad aftertaste from the berries.
Alright.
You have stepped into a deeper area of the swamp. You are forced to swim.
Alright, let me save here. Because I'm not sure how this point-and-click interface handles this. In the original game, you had to hold your breath. You couldn't just dive here. You could dive here, but then you would die. You had to explicitly say hold breath, and then that would get you through this area alive. But I don't know...
You take a deep breath, filling your lungs to near bursting, and head for the depths below.
Okay, the game is actually being nice, since we can't type here, and there's no icon to take a deep breath. It just kind of...
The extensive tunnels of rock seem to end in an air pocket here.
Alright.
A small boulder with a glowing gem resting on it sits in this air pocket cavern. You take the glowing gem.
Alright, nice.
The glowing gem provides a gentle illumination.
That it does. Alright. Come on.
Once again, you wisely take in a load of air and head below.
Okay, so there doesn't seem to be an option to just go swimming without taking a deep breath, so that's fine.
You have gotten out of the deep spot and are back on your soggy feet.
Yes, I am. Alright. Let's go ahead and save to that. Got gem. And continue. Alright, so...
This tree is both vibrant and strong, holding its healthy canopy of foliage up high. Rather than the kind of leaves you are used to seeing, this tree has long, thick green strands. Your experience as an amateur xenobotanist tells you that the sunlight must be highly radioactive. The slim foliage thus allows for photosynthesis that runs through natural filters, keeping the tree from poisoning itself with the sunlight that sustains it. No, I'm just kidding. You have no idea why the leaves are like that. You can't climb it. This tree is too slick for that. Smells outdoorsy. You're a space janitor, not a space giraffe. You can't reach it.
Alright.
This stump, rotted and bug-infested, is the final monument to a once strong tree. This tree is dead, and seems to be free of the slick secretions some of the others generate. You begin to shimmy your way up the snag. Oof! Holy log jams, Batman, you almost bit the big one!
Yes, I did, but I survived.
It smells like wood. Did you think you could swing across the chasm with your tongue?
No. Oh.
Yikes, you have been snared. Suspended above the ground, you are unable to move freely. After a while, the cerebral fireworks begin. Capillaries begin to burst under the strain. You pass out. Once again, time passes. And then, some more time passes. While unconscious, you have the strangest of dreams. You hallucinate that your name is Larry. You are wearing something known as a leisure suit, apparently made of fully synthetic materials and proven to generate large amounts of static electricity.
So this is basically the same verbatim text from the original game, but in the original game the screen just remained black while this was being described, but here you have a nice... No, I mean, it's a vision of the first Leisure Suit Larry game. Do I have control here? No, I don't. No, it's just a pure cutscene. I can't control the character. Also, Larry has blonde hair in this flashback for some reason.
While prowling a locale known as the Land of the Lounge Lizards, you spend your time badgering women of the area to participate in bizarre mating rituals such as... Just then, consciousness begins to creep in.
Darn, we were just getting to the good part.
Your head begins to clear and you realize that you have been imprisoned. Your captor appears to be that large oaf sitting near the fire.
Alright, this might be time to save.
These creatures are genetically bred, rigorously trained to subdue the most threatening creatures in the universe, and he has captured you. He looks a little embarrassed about it.
I don't know if you can tell from here. I realize the sprite here is a little small, but I think well, see if you can figure out what it's based on.
You'll have to get his permission first.
Before I interact with him, let's see what else we have here.
Apparently, this was breakfast, and that must make the skeletal chap nearby brunch. A skeleton hangs near the cage, a good indicator that this creature does not want you for your janitorial skills. You poke the skeleton. It rattles. You can't reach it.
Hey, Scully, where's Mulder? And where's your teeth?
Shouldn't that be where are your teeth? I mean, I know people sometimes say where is for plurals, but it really should be where are.
Only the skulls in Monkey Island talk. Oh, and Quest for Glory.
Yeah, Bonehead from Quest for Glory 4. Oh, and also the first one, of course. Oh, is he?
The hunter stands and takes a long look in your direction.
Not yet.
His face, though strange in its own right, bears an expression one might see on a freak show patron.
Not yet. I'm not done interacting with your stuff here, sir. Alright. I guess it's now or never.
Hey, buddy. Any chance of parole in this place?
No response. The hunter has decided that it's a perfect day for a barbecue. As he slowly turns you over the fire, you begin to turn a beautiful golden brown. Death follows at an agonizingly long distance.
Cooking with Roger Wilkie. Thought the way he handled that was in bad taste. Yeah, it probably was. Alright, let's go ahead and do what we need to do and then see what else we can do while we're here. So, of course, we throw the spore at this fellow.
Upon impact with the ground, the spore opens and spews its dust into the air. The hunter falls to the ground, paralyzed.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure, I feel very sure that this thing is based on the Predator from, the Predator movies. Again, the sprite is a little small, but...
The unconscious body seems to be riddled with tiny parasites. You reach through the bars and take possession of the key.
Alright.
You slip the key into the lock and give it a turn. The lock snaps open.
Let's go ahead and do what we need to do here.
A rope hangs from the large tree. You grab the rope.
Alright, I think that's all we need to do here. So...
It has a zingy orange smell. The taste has faint undertones of Soylent Grey. Smells like oregano. Tastes like oregano, with just a hint of rotting flesh. Don't mock the alien, Roger. Smells like a mix between human blood and office supplies. Truly horrifying. Two wrongs don't make a right. Besides, he obviously got the idea first. It's the spore you threw. You don't want it back. The discarded bone looks brittle and useless up close. You move to pick it up, but it is both brittle and slimy. Even if it could survive the trip to your inventory, you'd wish that it hadn't, so you leave it alone. In the center, a campfire burns. One has to wonder about the purpose of a fire during a warm day such as this.
No amount of clicking is going to make me stick my hand in the fire. No amount, no, 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 no,
okay.
no amount of clicking is going to...
Doesn't.
The fire says nothing. Smells hot. Are you trying to extinguish the fire with your spittle? Who are you, Smokey the Bear? Leave it alone. It won't help.
Alright. So yeah, this place here...
You are at the edge of a forest. The boundary is a sheer cliff at the east side of the area. In the distance, you see a landing platform, possibly the one which welcomed you to this strange, lush world.
Alright, let's get out of here before hovercraft shows up again. Alright, so I think we have pretty much the same drill as last time. But let's see what happens if we...
It's a relatively short rope made from rough hemp.
Let's go ahead and,
You're too far away.
Alright.
You tie the rope to the stump and unroll it down into the chasm. You head over the edge and down the rope.
Alright, so do I... Okay.
It looks like that stump wasn't a good thing to tie onto.
Whoopsie daisy. Ooh, stumped. Once again, you've demonstrated your inability to sustain life. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we know that the stump doesn't work. We need to tie the rope to that log, so let's go ahead and do so.
Gripping firmly with your legs, you tie the rope to the middle of the makeshift bridge.
Alright, let's see. If I click down, I don't actually have any control. Okay. Yeah, actually. Alright. Okay, fine. I think this looks like a...
Thanks for playing Space Quest 2, Roger Wilco. You've been swell to watch. Have a nice day.
I pressed F5 to save the game. And first of all, it says not right now, so I guess I can't save in the middle of this. And secondly, it said something totally different from the text. Okay. Fine. Does that mean then that... Alright. I guess I'm going to have to...
There's timing.
Okay.
Due to the unyielding nature of solid ground, especially when struck from 50 meters, you now bear the dimensions of a manhole cover.
All about the timing, yeah. All about that bass.
Gripping.
That's fine, but well, let me see. Let's see how... So if I just click left here... Yeah. I figured that would happen. He literally just goes... He just starts moving left and releases his grip on the rope.
This has a negative effect on your resistance to the urging of gravity.
Alright. One small sip, one major trauma per hit. Yeah, okay. Okay, so you can't actually use the arrow keys there. You just kind of click on swing, and then on jump. Well, first you click down. So, first you click on down to get him to go down to the end of the rope, and then you just click on swing. And...
Thanks.
Yeah, I really can't save during this. That's annoying. That's one thing that always annoys me about some games is games not letting you save at arbitrary points. I feel like I should be able to save at any point in the game. Alright, so he roars, and then... Okay, so that was his second grab. He'll probably get us on the third grab.
Hesitates is lost. You gave the guy one chance too many, and he seized the opportunity. Not to mention you. You are consumed in 2 quick bites.
Dirty, stinking ape. If he didn't monkey around, he wouldn't be in this mess. Yeah. Okay, so... Kind of like in the first game, first he roars, and then he gets 2 grabs. He gets 2 grabs in, and then on the third grab he gets you. So, I guess I'll jump off after the second grab attempt. Alright, here we go. This'll be it. I feel good about this one. I feel positive about this. Okay, so he roars. Grabs. That's the second grab. This is it.
Your timing.
What?
Due to the...
Okay, that's... Okay. I can only assume I'm trying too early.
Gripping...
Let me... Or maybe I'm too late. I don't know. I mean, really what should happen is... Yeah. Now let's see. I mean, really what should happen is... I think in the original game you need to jump off when the rope is at its leftmost point, but actually in real life you wouldn't want to do that, because when the rope hits its leftmost point is when you've already lost your momentum. When you're at the apex of your swing in this direction, you will have no forward momentum, so letting go of the rope at that point will just cause you to drop down, mostly. You want to actually kind of let go a little bit before the end of the swing in this direction, so you have that forward motion that will, you know, that inertia or momentum that will keep you moving in this direction. But I don't know how realistically this game simulates physics. Like I said before, this is not probably not meant to be like a realistic simulation of any kind of scientific or physical principles. Alright, so first grab, the rope goes to the E in quest. Second grab, I'm gonna click right about here. What? I clicked on jump, and he didn't jump. How many ways can this go wrong? I seriously clicked at that point. I literally clicked
Gripping.
at that point, and he did not jump off. Okay, so it looks like the rope goes as far as the E in quest, and that's kind of like the landmark point. That's probably where you want to click. Alright, let's do this again. Maybe I had the mouse too far to the right, kind of had it off to the side there instead of... Alright, fine, let's try this again. So. Doors. Grab one. Grab two, this will be it.
Your timing causes...
No!
Due to the unyielding...
Okay. Alright, it's fine. It's a good time to end this video anyhow, so I'll go ahead and stop here, and I'll try to figure out how to make this work, and then in the next video, hopefully, we will get back on track. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye for now.